is the verse in Isaiah 44:13, the carpenter stretcheth out his rule. He marketh it out with a line, and he fitteth it with planes, and he marketh it out with the compass, and maketh it after the figure of a man, according to the beauty of a man, that it may remain in the house. That man, of course, is the Lord. It's Yahweh. It's Brian. The altar to the Lord is the precise geographic centre of the earth landmass, therefore measuring east-west through the pyramid and likewise north-south through the pyramid, measuring the land line of Africa. The east begins at the Red Sea and represents the woman uterus, and the birth canal conceived by Lucifer as the adulterous woman, mankind. The distance east-west is Hebrew 2184, meaning adultery, infidelity, idolatry, whoredom. And there it is there. This here, of course, is the pyramid, and this is the east-west, the north-south. This line here, east to west, whoredom, idolatry. The Red Sea, the birth canal, the uterus, this shape here. This measurement from the Nile Delta, north to the south, at the tip of the birth canal, is a measure for Adam. Going over Adam's fall into the earthly domain of hell, and of course Lucifer rules hell, it means that Adam, capital A, the righteous man, has fallen to Adam, lowercase, the man of low morals and rejection of the Lord God Almighty, who follows via the cross to redeem its offspring. Therefore forbid not the children to come unto him, for such belongs the kingdom of heaven, this time now. There's that measurement again, 120 nautical miles, Adam. Note the heading here, 356.69. We'll come to that shortly. Now, the verse after the reference to the beauty of the man continues with a reference to the woman, being Asherah, myself, in Isaiah 44:14. He heweth him down cedars, and taketh the cypress and the oak, which he strengtheneth for himself. Among the trees of the forest, that's mankind, he plants an ash, and the rain doth nourish it. Now going back to the heading, 356.69 means bridegroom, which of course is Yahweh, the Alpha male, one for Alpha and being the Father, the only male soul on the planet. 120 Adam fallen, mankind, to have sold out to the devil. So we're talking about all of mankind. Now measuring from the North Nile Delta to the east is Adam, and then from the same delta point to the west is Eve. And that's the measurement there, 2096 nautical miles, the first woman, Eve. Think about this, folks. This is absolutely amazing. This was all laid out in the beginning when creation was a thought. And then men, the descendants of Noah, were moved by the holy angels to do precisely what was laid out in the script, the heavenly script. There's that measurement for Eve, from here to the west, Eve. The Red Sea being the birth canal. So we've got Adam and Eve, then we've got mankind from the birth canal via Cain, the murderer. Reiterating, this measurement here is 120 nautical miles. This Distance here is 2096 nautical miles. Now, the Holy Grail is right on the very tip here of the uterus. It is all about the uterus of Martha, myself, Asherah. Confirming 2096 Eve. Remembering the heading 3566, a bridegroom. Okay, we have therefore Eve to the west and Adam to the east from the Nile Delta, the most northern line through the altar to the Lord, which reveals the number for compass to measure the earth. Now this is really astonishing. This is where it all started yesterday. There's only one reference to the word compass as a measurer and an instrument for measuring the earth, and it is in 44:13, where it refers to marking it out with the compass and maketh it after the figure of a man, who is the Lord. Compass, Hebrew Dictionary 42:30, an instrument for marking a circle, compass. And that's the distance from here north of the pyramid, hitting the coast there, straight down through Africa and coming out here on the southeast coast. That measures 42:30, which means compass. The longitude of the Great Pyramid is a line from the Nile Delta, then south through the pyramid onto the southeast coast of Africa. That was that measurement we just showed you. So that's the 42:30. Comes out here. 42:30, meaning compass, an instrument to measure. Is the pyramid. Now, from the exit point on the South African coast that we just showed you to the South Pole, this is amazing folks, is 3623.8 nautical miles. Now what have we got? Reiterating, 42:30, that means compass, which means an instrument to measure. It's the same number in nautical miles of the base of the pyramid less the displacement factor, which is 286.1 pyramid inches. Now remember, 286 means lamb and 1 means father, so it's the rejection of the alpha male, or Yahweh, God Almighty, who is the lamb, reduces it, remembering that figure we just looked at, to 3623.8.14, which equals that measurement from the southeast coast of Africa straight down to the South Pole, measures 3623. And what is that number? 3623. It's not referenced here, I'll come back, but it actually means espousal. Okay, now for all of those who've been following along, and if you've been able to redeem videos from those who have saved them and from other sites, the Bible, Brian has been teaching over and over, is a wrestling between the truth, that should be a capital T there, of the Old Testament prophets. These are the true prophets of God, which are Daniel, Ezekiel, Hosea, Isaiah, Jeremiah, Joel. And so it's a wrestling match between those men of God and then Paul, the Apostle Paul, who was known as Saul. 2 words later in the concordance you've got Satan. Paul's insanity. Paul was insane. He was a devil. He was insane. His conversion on the road to Damascus was an appearance by